Becky's painting party. This is going to be my first tutorial, so hang in there with me. I'm going to try to cover as much as I can in as little time as I can, and try not to go too fast or too slow. Just to show you some basic supplies. Of course, you'll need a canvas. You can use other things besides canvases. Sometimes I use wood picture frames. Here lately we've been testing it out on sandstone. This right here is just a rock that we poured it on. I haven't varnished it yet, but this is kind of what it looks like on a rock, which is still pretty cool. But today we're going to use this big canvas board, and I've wrote down kind of an idea, just a mental note to what all I'm going to be showing you so I don't forget. You can really use any kind of paint. Just an example, these are just any kind of craft paint, acrylic base. It can be any brand. They all work the same. They're all wonderful. Just different kinds. These are your hard-bodied paints. These you're going to have to mix up more to thin them out. They're a lot thicker. Make sure I'm getting all these in the camera. Just any kind of paint. But the ones in your tubes that are thicker will have to mix more Floetrol and water in those to dilute them more. So just an example. What you can mix them in can vary. Use little mouthwash Dixie cups, whatever you want to call them. You can use bigger plastic cups. I just got these today from the dollar store. Plastic cups, you can rinse them out and reuse them. That way you don't have to throw them away as much as the paper cups. Also for reusable things, like you can use the sour cream tub. Just anything like this you can rinse out, reuse. You can also use glass jars. This was like a relish jar I just cleaned out. Once you get your paint in there, I'll show you an example. Just mix up a little bit of paint. We'll choose this thick one right here just to show you we have to, well, that one's not been opened yet. Let's go with yellow. So put some yellow in there. See how it's thicker compared to if we was to put, let me grab another one. If we was to do some orange, see how that kind of covers the bottom of the cup. This one is still has some cup showing. I don't know if you can see that yellow or not. Floetrol. This is a paint conditioner. To me, it helps keep the colors alive, and it conditions the paint like a hair conditioner. I got this at Home Depot. What I do is, you can strain it because sometimes it can be a little chunky. I just put mine in this cup here, just a plastic container. That way it's easier for me to pour it in. So with this, I'm going to do about as much paint as I put in there. That's how much Floetrol I'm going to use on the soft body paints, the ones that are more liquid. The ones that are hard bodied, I'm going to put more Floetrol, so I'm going to cover it and just a little bit more. Now you can do exact measurements, you can weigh these, you can do all sorts of things, but for me, I just go at it. Kind of like when I cook, I don't do exact measurements. So I'm going to mix that up, and see that color just comes right back. Really smooth and pretty. Now you can kind of tell when you're stirring it, the thickness. You can tell that this is a lot thicker. See, there's still chunks of it in there. Gotta stir it a lot more. And you may even want to put more. Like, I could go ahead and just put a little bit more Floetrol in there because it's just really thick. And I want to thin it out to pour. Also, I'm going to add some water to this. So you could say about 50% paint, 40% Floetrol, or 50 to 60 depending on which kind of paint you're using. I use just 5 to 10% water. That one's going to need more water. Then again, sometimes it's going to be too runny. I may need to add more to it, more paint or Floetrol. Sometimes it's still too thick and you got to go with more water. Also, what we add to some paints, which I did in my black and white paint that I'm using today, I added this liquid silicone, and what it does is creates more cells, and you'll see what I'm talking about when we get to it. But this is just 100% liquid silicone. You can also use like a cooking oil or vegetable oil, but those tend to stay greasy. It doesn't alter the color any. There's different hair products and skin products that you can use that has like a silicone. You can use lubricants. Some people use just alcohol. And today I think we're going to do just a drop of alcohol in these colors. Well, no, better not. We're going to be torching them, so, and that's highly flammable. So if you're going to use the torch, I would not use alcohol. I wouldn't have the same in the same room. So anyway, here's our paints mixed up. I've already got some